Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Imran Mir. Today's topic of discussion is how researchers can increase the chances of their manuscripts acceptance for publication in renowned journals. It depends on how sound their manuscripts are. Sound means the quality of information and the manner in which that information is presented. As such, there is no common criteria or standard that what information should be included in a manuscript and how it should be presented. It also varies from discipline to discipline and from journal to journal. However, if you read research papers published in renowned journals, you would find what kind of information is presented in them and how it is presented. For instance, in the first paragraph of introduction section, you will find researchers would have provided information about the background of their topic. In the second paragraph, they would have provided information about the contemporary issues in their area of research. In the third paragraph, they would have provided gap literature in a chronological order. In the fourth paragraph, they would have clearly stated their research aim. In the same paragraph, they would have provided the literature justifying that why they addressed that particular issue. In the same paragraph, they would have clearly defined important terms and concepts. In the same paragraph, they would have given a brief overview about the theories that they have applied. Finally, they would have provided the information about the contributions and research implications. The simple guideline for research students is that before submitting your research manuscript to some renowned journal, you must ensure that your manuscript contains the following information. Information about the background of your topic, information about the contemporary issues, gap literature in a chronological order, clearly stated research aim, justification literature, definition of important terms and concepts and overview of theories, and a sentence highlighting theoretical contribution and research implications. It's not necessary that there should be 3 to 4 paragraphs. Your manuscript may contain only 2 paragraphs, but you should try to follow this sequence of information in your manuscripts. If you read construct building section of those research papers, you will find that those researchers would have defined their research constructs and explained them clearly by citing previous literature and theories. They would have quoted or cited multiple definitions given by different researchers related to their construct. They would have discussed those definitions, and after that discussion they would have chosen one definition according to their research context. In addition, they would have clearly stated whether their research constructs are unidimensional or multidimensional. The simple guideline for research students is that they should clearly define their research constructs by citing previous literature and theories. They should not immediately agree upon a single definition given by a researcher. They should cite multiple definitions. They should discuss them, and after discussion they should choose one definition according to their research context. They should clearly state whether their research constructs are unidimensional or multidimensional. Unidimensional means that research construct consists of only one dimension, such as a person's weight. Multidimensional constructs are those that consists of multiple dimensions or factors, such as quality. Quality is a multidimensional construct. It consists of several dimensions such as durability, reliability, style, design, and so on. If you read theory building section of those research papers, you would find those researchers would have clearly mentioned why they applied those theories. Similarly, they would have given proper literature review before developing hypothesis. In method section, they would have clearly mentioned that why they targeted a particular population. They would have clearly mentioned sample size and sampling procedure. They would have clearly mentioned the approach they applied for data collection. They would have clearly mentioned the sources of skill development or item generation. They would have clearly mentioned how they evaluated content and construct validity. In addition, they would have clearly mentioned how they examined internal consistency of measurement skills related to theoretical constructs. If you read model testing and hypothesis testing section of those research papers, those researchers would have clearly mentioned why they applied certain statistical tools and techniques to test their models and hypotheses. Similarly, they would have used proper and relevant literature and theories to discuss their results. In conclusion section, they would have properly summed up their key findings, and they would have clearly identified the key theme which emerged as a result of their research and discussion. In contribution section, they would have clearly highlighted the contribution that their research made to their field of research. In implications section, they would have clearly mentioned how a society, community or business can benefit from their research findings. Finally, they would have clearly mentioned the limitations of their research and future research agenda. Thank you so much. This was today's topic. I hope research students would benefit from it. Please do not forget to subscribe this channel. Allah Hafiz.